Welcome to another video, and today we're gonna do something different. Usually on this channel I give a lot of tips and tricks for your competitive games. But today we're not necessarily gonna talk about competitive games, but instead purely focus on life hacks. Because there are some things about Valorant that everybody should know, but not everybody does know. And in this video we're gonna go over a few of these things. Think about the refund system, secret settings, patch notes. So what I would say is sit back, relax and enjoy the video. And let's start with the video setting that everybody who has a TikTok brain should use. Here's the thing, a bad habit that a lot of players have is that if they die, they're gonna alt tab to watch some YouTube or even put on some music on Spotify. Of course, this is not a good habit to have. You will lose your focus, but I can't blame you because I personally also do it a lot. But here's the thing, if you go to settings, by default Valorant is set to full screen mode. But the problem with full screen mode is that if you alt tab, Valorant will close completely. It will take a while before it's fully closed, and when you have a second monitor for example, you can't do things on that monitor without being able to see the game. I thought this was very annoying, and that's why I personally always play a windowed full screen instead. When you play with this mode and alt tab, you can still watch YouTube, adjust your Spotify or whatever you want to do on your second monitor, and your game will keep running so you can still watch the match. Same idea if you only have a single monitor, by the way. In that case, the game will run on the background while you can adjust your YouTube in a different window. I know, it's a very illegal life hack because you should keep your focus on the game, but I know a lot of you can't help yourself watching videos during a match. I bet some of you are even in-game at this moment while watching this video. There's one small thing you need to keep in mind though. The performance might be a little worse if you played with windowed full screen. So if you notice that your FPS drops with this setting, then you can always switch it back to full screen with only one click. Let's move on to the next life hack now, and for it I want you to take a look at this shop of Scotsy. Like you see, every skin is free in this shop, and my friends, not only the skins are free, but on this account also all the agents were free. What, MrLowlander, is Scotsy hacking? No, my friends, you can also get one of these accounts. Well, maybe. Here's what you need to do. Go to the Valorant website, and then at the top right you'll find the PBE sign up. If you click on this and go through the steps, you might be able to get a PBE account, and when you do, you are able to play on the PBE servers, also known as the public beta environment. On these servers, all the skins are free, the agents are free, and the best part, you can also test updates that aren't even out in the game yet. Sounds insane, right? Why isn't everybody playing on these servers? Well, my friends, there's one big downside, and that's that not a lot of people get accepted, and the worst part is that you can only get accepted if your account is from North America. Ouch, so more than 50% of the world can't even get into these servers. But a cool thing to know anyway. To add on this, as a small bonus life hack, you actually are able to use VPNs to create accounts for other regions. So maybe if you're from India, for example, you can create a North American account with a VPN and sign up like that. But I wouldn't recommend this because you will play with very high ping, and I'm not even sure if it's allowed or not. Let's move on now and talk about the refund policy of Riot Games. Be honest with me, did you know that there was a refund policy? I personally had no idea. But apparently if you bought some Valorant points, it is possible to fully get your money back. But wait, my friends. Before you start buying things and use them thinking you can get your cash back by the end of the month, there are some criteria that you need to follow to get that refund. And that's that you can only get a refund from unused in-game content with points you purchased within the last 14 days. This means you can't get a refund on used weapons, upgraded skins, agents, premium battle passes, blah blah blah, you see all the things over here. Basically, you can only get a refund if you bought Valorant points and did nothing with it. So for most people it's not very useful to know this fact, but if you accidentally bought Valorant points or maybe bought it to the wrong account, then you need to know that you can get a refund to get it onto the right account. Next life hack. This one is about Valorant updates. If you've been in the Valorant scene for a while, you probably have noticed that the Valorant updates always get leaked before they come out. Sometimes on purpose to build up hype, think about the creator events, and other times they accidentally get leaked on Twitter for example. But overall, most of us know what the Valorant update is gonna be before it comes out. But there's one problem though, and that's that often we don't know when the update is coming out. Luckily for you, you can always find the date, and that's by simply googling it, then search for your region, because in every region the update day is different, and then count down the days, and then you find how long it takes before the update. This, however, takes so long, and you need to calculate, and it's a very boring progress. We're too lazy to do this. Isn't there a simple way to know when the update is happening? Well, my friends, yes, there is, and that's the next life hack. Usually when a big update happens, like a new agent or a new map, the update will happen at the start of a new act. You know what else happens at the start of a new act? Exactly, the new battle pass comes out. So if you want to know how many days it takes for the next act to happen, you simply go to your battle pass, and look at that, there's a countdown. This way it doesn't matter what region you are in, this is the exact countdown you need to follow, so you know exactly when the update happens for you. It's so simple, but not a lot of people think like this, so now you know, my friends. And let's stay on the topic of Valorant updates, because the next life hack is also about that, and this one is about the Valorant patch notes. In Valorant, every 2 weeks there are small updates, and you can read them in the Valorant patch notes. I would highly recommend to every 2 weeks read the patch notes, because there's useful information in them. However, However, I completely understand if you're too lazy for that. I mean, just look at it, so much text, then you also need to find the patch notes, sometimes you just forget there's an update, a lot of work. And for all those people who think it's too much work, I got the solution, and the solution is called Kanga. At least I think you pronounce it like that, sorry. But this guy is insane, dude. Every time the patch notes comes out, this guy summarizes it in only 1 minute, and he doesn't drag it out to a 9-minute video. Honestly, skill capped, what the heck. So of course I'm subscribed to Kanga with the notification, so each time I see a title with patch notes in it, I'm getting up to date without reading a thing. Let's move on to the next life hack now. As we all know, in Valorant, lineups are extremely important. Especially in the post plant. If you got good lineups, easy peasy wins for you.
Player standing.
And here's a cool life hack about lineups. If you hop into a custom game and want to create some lineups, you need to do a lot of tests till you find a good one. This sadly takes up a lot of time, but my friends, did you know that there's actually a small tool that can help you with creating lineups? And it's called the Viper Orb. The Viper Orb is the only ability in Valorant where you can see the landing spot of on the minimap. Just take a look at it. The green spot, that is exactly where the orb will land. Okay, MrLowlander, cool life hack, but this is very niche. There are not a lot of Viper mains, right? So why is this useful for us? Well, my friends, the best part is that the Viper Orb flies the same way as a lot of other abilities in Valorant. This means that you can create lineups with the Viper Orb and then use the lineups with other agents' abilities. Here's a list of every ability that flies the same. First up we have the Harbor Smoke, the Gecko Molotov I already showed, then we have the Graph Net of Deadlock, flies exactly the same, and the last two abilities, the Molotov of KO and the Swarm Grenade of Killjoy. The best part about all of this is that you only need to learn one lineup with one of these abilities, and then you know lineups with every one of these agents. Pretty useful to know, my friends. Let's go to the next life hack. This part of the video will be a little different, because these life hacks are a little bit smaller, but still very useful to know, so I'll just go over them very briefly. But first, if you like this video this far, feel free to subscribe. When you do, you make my cat Bobber very happy. Now ready? Let's go. If you finish the match and go to match history, you can click on performance and see how you performed against each enemy. You can, for example, see how many times you killed that enemy and how many times you died against that enemy. Cool information if you played against a Smurf, for example, then you can see how you performed against that specific enemy. The default minimap of Valorant sucks. When you play with that map, you won't be able to see the full map. So in this case, if your teammate spots an enemy on A, I won't be able to see exactly where that enemy is. So if you still play with the default map, make sure that you go to settings and fix your map so you will be able to see the whole map in your minimap. Believe me, it's very useful. And while we're talking about the minimap, if you're running in Valorant, you see a circle around your icon. This circle isn't there for nothing because it indicates from how far the enemies can hear you run. So what you gotta do is pay attention to that circle, and with that info you know exactly when you need to start walking. The next life hack is about your teammates. Sometimes you get in those games where either your teammate's voice sounds very quiet or extremely loud. If this happens to you, you don't need to mute them, just click on escape and you can change the individual volume of each of your teammates' microphone. Find that perfect balance at the start of your game. And then, did you know that when you're in your loading screen, you can actually already start typing and sending your message. Like you see in the background, before I started the game I said nothing in the chat, then I typed during the loading screen and look at that, my message appeared in chat. Not sure if this life hack is very useful, but it's a cool thing to know. And this, my friends, this was the last life hack of this video. I hope you learned something new, and for all the OG players out there, I would recommend watching the video at the top left, where I go over whether old fracture tricks still work or not. Thank you for watching and bye bye.